about the 34.
Hey, Eric Allen is playing so loose over in that right corner. It looks like they can hit Calloway or any of their receivers in front of them all day.
I'm not sure exactly why he left. Something's hurt.
Yeah, he caught that ball and it was kind of thrown to the ground by Eric Allen. And talk about this turf and how hard it is here.
Yeah. Hampton deep. One of his favorite plays. It may lose some of its favoritism. There's Calloway over on the sideline.
Calloway is a valuable guy on this Giant team, not only as a receiver, but also as a blocker.
Here's where he got thrown down by Eric Allen.
Yeah, you see Eric Allen has him up around the neck, and he just wrestles him and just throws him to the ground there. And looks like if he did get hurt, it was more hurt hitting the ground than it was the thing. And he had a shoulder injury. He had a bad shoulder coming into this game.
Second down. Brown will go through with it. The Eagles jumped offside. The pass sails over the head of Sherrard. Fuller jumped early.
We were talking to Dan Reeves yesterday about Chris Calloway.
Yeah, he was saying what a valuable player he is because of that blocking ability.
Number 95 defense. 5 yards. Repeat second down.
Gordon McCarter, the referee.
And he was talking about how important he is to the running game. You always think of wide receivers and you think of passing game, but that if we don't have two tight ends in there, Chris Calloway really becomes, as a blocker, that second tight end.
Arthur Marshall has replaced Calloway. That's a cross in motion. This is Hampton with the ball. Chased backwards again by Rick Flores. Mike Flores.
Did you see what Mike Flores did that time? It was to Aaron Pierce. It was unbelievable. I mean, Pierce comes to block him. Now watch, Pierce is going to come here to block him. He goes in, and Flores just takes Pierce, number 84, and throws him right into the back. Watch him right up there on top. He just takes him, spins him around, and throws him right into Rodney Hampton. What are you talking about? You can't do that. Holy moly, that's a maul. Now that is a great play by Mike Flores.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, where'd that one come from?
3rd and 10, Meggett in the backfield.
They got to take time out after that one. Pierce better start bending his knees or the whole thing's going to go backward.
That's a Giant timeout. So they'll have 2 left. 4:34 left to play in the first quarter. Nope. Now let's go back and look at that play again.
Well, here's Mike Flores here. Here's Aaron Pierce going to try and block him. Watch what happens to Pierce. As I said, you have to bend your knees. He didn't bend his knees. He got straightened up and spun around. And Rodney Hampton saying, where did that white jersey come from?
That's one we don't want to see again if you're a player. Meggett on 3rd down. That's Pierce in motion this time, walking away from the line of scrimmage. And here's Brown. Picked off. Zordich makes the interception. Still on his feet is Zordich to the 40. And the Eagles will take over at the Giant 40.
I think it's going to be Mike Flores again. If you watch him, he's the first guy that makes the pressure here. Jumbo Elliott's having trouble over there with him. You see, that's Bert Grossman. Excuse me. Bert Grossman starts up the field, and he gets in there. Fuller comes in from the other side, then Grossman, and they flush him out. He starts to run to the right, and he throws it right to Mike Zordich. Ooh, and then Andy Harmon made a block there at the end. Now, the first guy in there was Fuller. The second guy was Bert Grossman.
Bobby Brister, the quarterback for Philadelphia, asking for quiet. Brister sends Barnett in motion. Walker up the middle, and Herschel Walker surges for about 4 more yards.
Yeah, there's a lot of things about throwing an interception. One is you give the ball to the other team. 2 is you have to become a defensive player and look who those defensive linemen look for.
The quarterback.
Yeah, if they're gonna block someone, everyone looks for the quarterback. Turn on the quarterback, because when he throws the interception, he turns from offense to defense. Your defense turns from defense to offense. Those guys who were rushing them and now become blockers.
That last surge by Herschel Walker got an Eagle first down. Rich Kotite with his offensive coordinator, Zeke Bratkowski.
Rich is looking at both sides of that card. They have all their plays down there and all their situations. I don't think you saw it on that front page. You looked to see what was on the back of that front page to call this one. This could be a good one.
Walker and Garner behind Brister. And here's Bubby Brister to throw it. Incomplete. I'm not sure. Calvin Williams and Fred Barnett both on that side of the field. It went in between them.
Yeah, one of the things Bubby Brister was saying that he's going to have to calm down a little, because here's Calvin Williams, and we see right there is Fred Barnett, and Barnett runs an up. Calvin Williams runs a hook.
He was open.
And Brister doesn't throw it to either one of them.
2nd and 10.
To a tweener.
Garner slipped in the backfield and then slipped over the left side for about 3. Stopped by Booty and Carlton Bailey.
Getting right in there behind Joe Panos. Joe Panos is one of the changes that the Eagles made in their offensive line. Joe Panos starting at left guard today for Antone Davis. He's a fiery guy. We talked to him yesterday.
Yeah.
Panos, yeah. And he's a rookie out of Wisconsin, 6'2", 296 pounds. This is really the second time he played, because he did play 3 quarters against Houston. He said, if I'm going to make a mistake, it's going to be a full-speed mistake.
Brister out of the shotgun. BAVARO. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Mark BAVARO, 27 yards away, scores for the Eagles.
BAVARO's been out the last 3 or 4 weeks, and that was one of the things Bubby Brister talked about yesterday. He said, I want to get Mark BAVARO back. He said, I'm really happy he's going to play. And he said, when we get down inside the 20, he's the guy that I want to go to. And he's the first guy. He runs that post pass, and he is still, he doesn't run like he used to, but he's still so strong that guys still bounce off him. Remember all those years for the Giants, how they used to.
That's still part of the highlight film. Murray's extra point is good. Mark BAVARO was on the table for treatment yesterday, but it worked.
And Bubby Brister is watching Mark BAVARO all the way. He's his go-to guy. Throws a perfect pass, and just watch him. They just bounce right off Mark BAVARO. I've always thought if you could define a football player, Mark BAVARO would be one of the guys you're talking about.
Especially a tight end.
Watch Joe Spanos here now doing a good job on Eric Howard. I tell you, he's up in there, and he has a man-to-man.
And the Eagles lead after the touchdown from Brister to BAVARO, 7-0.
But Joe Panos was saying yesterday that he's so excited to play that he said he may not do everything right, but what he does do, he's going to do aggressively, and he's going to do it full speed. Look at this, Pat. His full name was Zoas Panagiotis. And when he was in kindergarten, he couldn't spell it. So he asked his parents if he could change his name to something he could spell. So he came up with Joe Panos. So that's how he became Joe Panos.
I think that was a good idea.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but he's big enough. He weighs 296 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, he's big enough to have that 15-letter name on his back.
But for now, he's Joe Panos. Arthur Marshall returned the kickoff. He had some room, almost broke it. Cut down at about the 25 by Derek Frazier.
You know, and coaches and players and everyone always talk about how turnovers kill you. You see, it was a 4-play drive. They only had 40 yards to go, and that was because of the turnover that Mike Zordich got him.
If you go back through the years and look at the most crucial statistics, sometimes I think we get lost in statistics, but that one always remains a constant, that turnover.
And then once you get the turnover, what you do with it, the Eagles did it perfectly.
Hampton going left. For not much, a couple. Stopped by William Thomas.
They're still working over there on Corey Miller's ankle. You see that he did have a toe thing. He had that bandaged up, and now they're retaping the ankle.
He's on the hot seat.
They have a lot of different kinds of tapes and bandages and stuff to get that foot working. It's amazing when you get to this deep in the season how much tape was on these players.
Oh, yeah. Pass is complete. The umpire couldn't quite get out of the way, and Mike Sherrard is taken down by Michael Zordich.
Well, eventually Mike Sherrard is going to have to run those pass patterns deeper than the umpire.
Yep. That won't get you many points.
That's right. A tight end can run a pattern at the umpire. The umpire is the official that's right behind the defense, and he's only about 3 yards deep. So when a wide receiver is running into this guy right there, the umpire, he is running a very, very shallow pattern.
There are not going to be many points on the board when that happens. Sheed and Hampton. Here's Dave Brown back to throw. Pass is caught for a first down by Chris Calloway, who's back. Back with pain, but that's the answer this time of year. You got to play with a few hurts.
And that's the thing that, Dave Brown is going to have to do, or this Giant offense is going to have to loosen up this Eagle defense, because Bud Carson, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, is going to stop your run first, and he's going to dare you to pass. And that's what Bud's doing here. He's ganging up in that run. He's not going to let Rodney Hampton have anything easy, and he's going to make Dave Brown pass the ball.
Fake to Hampton. Brown going deep. Sherrard over his head.
And then Dave Brown has to hit those when you do that, because they had a ganged up. Now, when you gang up in the run, you're going to get some man-to-man on the whole field. And he had that. He had Mike Sherrard there. He had him man-to-man all the way against Mark McMillan. There was no safety in there. There was no help. He had him all over the field, and he didn't hit him.
And Sherrard is, of course, about 6 inches taller than Mark McMillan, so he had everything working for him.
I'll tell you, that was good coverage, though, by McMillan, because he had no help whatsoever.
Well, the weather forecast for today was ominous, but it turned out to be a very, very nice day. Again, Brown back to throw, and again he's down. Romanowski and Flores again. What happened to him?
I don't know. He's taking Townsend's place. But you're going to see Romanowski. He's going to come right here. I think Brown is trying to come this way, and then Flores comes from the backside. But watch number 53, Bill Romanowski. See, he takes on Roberts there. That makes Brown stop and forces him right back into Mike Flores.
3rd and 20.
I tell you, Bud Carson is calling a pretty good defensive game. Now, anything the Giants try, he has a defender right there.
Well, it's not the first time for Bud Carson. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Philadelphia Eagles 7. The Giants nothing. That's the end of the quarter. 7-0 at Veterans Stadium. The Eagles lead. 3 wide receivers for the Giants this time, all to the right. Outside the 40, not enough for a first down, to about the 42, tripped by Otis Smith. Take a look at the first quarter statistics. Rushing yards, -2 for the Eagles.
Only 12 for the Giants.
There's that big turnover.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. The turnover by the Giants, and then the points off, the 7 by the Eagles. And that's the story of the game so far.
Horan back to punt for the Giants.